Guys, so super excited to get to hang out and talk to you tonight on this Monday Night Live. This is a topic that I feel extremely passionate about. And I think the topic is how to create business builders. But really more than that, it's how to inspire someone to consider doing this with you. Okay. And the reason that I am so passionate about this topic is because for so long, I tried everything except this. For the first probably, I don't know, several months in my business, I thought the key to being successful is to recruit a massive amount of people. I'll just do all the IPA in every single waking moment by myself, and I will recruit myself to diamond. Anybody been there? Think, well, I don't know anything about any of this, so I'll just go get all the joins. I'll just go get all the joins. I was so focused on getting all the joins that I sometimes failed to take care of the joins that I got, right? Anybody else? Once you get the join, you think, job well done, on to the next. I failed to show them what was possible because I don't think I even understood what was possible. So if you're in a position in your business where you're thinking, my main goal every day is to just recruit. I'm just going to recruit and hope some things work out. I'm going to recruit and find one of them rock stars that I hear people talk about sometimes that they just happened upon. I'm just going to recruit and not worry about the rest. Guys, I'm here to tell you that will only get you so far. Ask me how I know. I recruited myself all the way to gold, all by my little lonesome. Okay. Recruited myself close to senior gold. I mean, I'm telling you, if there was somebody out there recruiting, it was me. And what I found was that it left me feeling, first of all, tons of fear, tons of scarcity. Like, can I keep this up long term? What does this look like as far as like these girls over here are having fun. There was a girl specifically that joined around the same time I did. And she ranked up before I did several times and it was having a ball doing it. And I'm like, I could not understand because I was recruiting more than her. I was working harder than her. Like I was making it hard and I was really trying to do the hard, choose your hard. And I looked over and realized her hard looked way more fun than my hard. My hard was alone, recruiting by myself alone. Hers was grabbing a couple of people and teaching all of them why they should recruit, how they could recruit, how much further they could get together. And they were having fun. She had a team. And I think that's where it clicked for me. Actually, Brittany probably blatantly said, it's not in how many people you can recruit, Christina. It's what kind of a team can you build? What kind of a team can you build? So the reason that I want you to pay attention to what I have to say tonight is because I've been where you are. If that is you and you're spinning your wheels with just trying to massively recruit and you're like, nobody will do this with me. Nobody will work this opportunity. Nobody wants to be a network marketer. First of all, that's not true. Do you know how I know it's not true? Because it's not true for me and it's not true for many leaders on this team. So to me, that just means there's something that they're doing that you're not, or there's something that they're not doing that you are. And the good news is you can figure that out. The good news is you can analyze tonight best practices in regards to this topic and figure out what it is you need to change. It's your responsibility to take this and digest it and figure out how it applies to your business. So just some credibility here, why I think you should probably listen to me. Since I've decided to focus on building a team, I have personally developed a diamond. I have 2 emeralds that I've personally developed. I have 3 senior rubies, 3 senior golds, 9 golds, 4 senior silvers, and 41 silvers. And those are people that I have personally developed myself. So, the numbers as far as my team goes, much, much larger than that. So I don't say that to brag. That is never, ever my intention. But I just say that to say, when I figured this out, things clicked. So if you want some things to click, I'm telling you, this could be the ticket. So after I learned the skill of casting vision, after I learned the skill of calling out people's potential, I realized that it was way more fun to do this with people, that we could get a whole lot further on the little bit of efforts of a lot of people than a lot of bit of effort of just me. Right? Okay. So I hope that you'll pay close attention. I'm going to try to share my screen. Now, you guys know Canva can be funny when I try to present. So just bear with me. move me out of the way. Okay. So here we go. How to create business builders. And for me, what that entails is calling out potential, I should have put recognizing people's potential, calling it out repeatedly, handling expected objections, casting vision, which means paint a picture of what this could have their life look like, and utilize systems to do so. All right, you guys ready? Here we go. Okay, so first of all, what is vision? I know sometimes you hear us say, go cast vision for that person. And if you guys are like me, there used to be a time where Brittany would say, build their belief. And I'm like, build their belief. Okay, build their belief, like with Legos, or like, how do I build that? So I want to get real clear on what I mean when I say vision. Vision is a clear mental picture of what could be in someone's life and the conviction with you that it should be. Let me repeat that again. A clear mental picture of what could be in someone's life and the conviction with yourself that it should be. If you have a conviction, if you really believe someone should have A, B, C, D, or E, it's going to make you much more likely to be willing to do the uncomfortable task of following up repeatedly, of facing that feared rejection, right? So here is your definition of vision. When we say cast vision, what we mean is tell them exactly what this could be for them if they decided to give this a look, okay? All right, so why is vision necessary? Guys, listen, without vision, there will be no change. Vision inspires change. If somebody could envision it for themselves, they would have already achieved it. So I think about my story and Brittany just pouring belief and vision and calling out my potential. Guys, for over a year, I want everybody to sit on that for a second. For an entire year, Brittany was willing to face that rejection. She was willing to face me ignoring her. She was willing to face me just saying no. I mean, I'm a pretty direct person. So I would say, yeah, no, not interested, not doing that. But she was doing that because she understood that if I were ever going to make the change, and she didn't know if I would or not, she had no way of knowing if I would do this or not. But she knew if I were ever going to, it was going to have to come from someone else's vision, someone's ability to see beyond what I could see and to call that out in me over and over again. So why must you cast vision? Because if you don't, their lives won't change. Their behaviors won't change. Their unbelief won't change. Vision inspires change. There's lots of people I can think about in the world who had really strong vision, right? They weren't the only ones who believed the way that they believed, but think about Martin Luther King Jr. Okay, he wasn't the only person who believed the way he believed, but he had strong enough vision, clear enough vision, a clear mental picture of how things could be and a conviction that they should be, that he was able to inspire massive amounts of change. Vision is necessary because vision inspires change. Okay, so why should you cast vision? Number one, people cannot envision themselves doing something like this. You guys, we want to take it personal when somebody says no to this opportunity. You guys, they say no because growing up, their mom and dad weren't saying, you can be anything you want to be, especially a professional network marketer. They didn't go to their high school advisement and they say, oh, you have really in all the gifts and strengths and talents of a professional network marketer. You should do that. They didn't have those experiences. They never envisioned themselves in any kind of a career field like this. So it's not that it's personal if they tell you they can't do what you think they can do. It's just that they've never really envisioned it. It just never has crossed their mind. And then as soon as it does, they're hit with all these reasons why it couldn't be for them. It goes into number two. People have limiting belief and fear that require vision from somewhere else. It's kind of like when you were scared of the dark as a kid. You had fear surrounding that. It took someone else saying, oh, come on, Jackie. Like, there's nothing to be scared of in the dark. Let me show you. Let me show you. I've been to the dark and back. I'm like, look, it's fine. I'm fine. Come with me. Guys, the reason people need you to cast vision over and over and over and over and over is because the naysayers are so loud. They're so loud. Even if they have no one around them that's being a naysayer, their own voice in their head is so loud, telling them why it's not for them, why they're not special enough, why they aren't talented enough, why they don't have the skills necessary. So you have to be willing to follow up and cast vision 5, 6, 7, 12, 20, 30 times. Because if you don't, just know there are voices in their head and around them that are telling them 4 times that amount that they cannot do this. So if you want them to overcome that, you got to be the voice that's saying, yes, you can. Yes, you can. That's not true. What you're thinking is not true. Here's the true thing to think. That's why you should cast vision. Okay. When you cast vision, when you have vision, when you have a rock solid belief, you don't have to have a game plan yet. You don't have to know how you're going to get there. If you have rock solid belief that you're going somewhere, you can give it away. When you can give vision away, when you can give belief away, here's what happens to the person you're giving it to. They develop a confidence. They start to understand where they're headed. They suddenly become okay with not having a game plan either. They don't have to know every single step of the way. They just become confident that they'll get there. So you give someone a confidence. Guys, when you give vision away, you get their commitment. They become loyal to the journey. They become willing to go through those adverse things. They hit the hurdles and they get right back up because they have belief that it will be worth it. Someone's already shown them the end point, and so they're willing to go along the road to get there, even if it's bumpy sometimes. Guys, when you give belief and vision away, you begin to create this grit, this persistence in someone that can take them the distance. I wrote Thomas Edison here because listen, he got it wrong so much more than he got it right, but he really had a vision of something that could be and should be. And so he was willing to stay the course. And when you can give someone belief and vision, they'll be willing to stay the course. Guys, when you can give belief and vision away, when you can call out someone's potential over and over and over and over and over, even when they don't buy it yet, you give them the ability to dream big. You give them the ability to think, well, maybe what if? Maybe on the 10th follow-up about the opportunity, now they're thinking, man, what if though? Or maybe when you follow up after that trip to Mexico and they've ignored you every other time, but that trip hit them all in their feels because they could totally see them and their husband in that hot tub and getting to connect. And they could totally see themselves at those big fancy parties. They begin to think, what if this could change everything? Guys, let me tell you never mind, I won't get there yet. When you give vision away, these are the things that you begin to birth in a human being. These are the gifts that you begin to give them. Okay, so let's get into what to expect when casting vision. I hope you understand why you should care about casting vision. I hope that the reasons why you should cast vision outweigh your doubt on whether or not it will be effective or if you'll be right or the best, and that you're just willing to get in there and try, right? Maybe that's will help you just make that decision. So here's what you should expect. Expect a no. It's just that easy. Expect a no. If you were headed, let's talk about this. Let's say that you were headed to, I don't know, the Grand Canyon. Okay. Grand Canyon, you've been planning to go there. It's what your parents told you were going to do. It's what you studied to do. You're going to go to the Grand Canyon. And then along the way to the Grand Canyon, and even after you arrived, you realized it wasn't exactly the life you had envisioned. It wasn't the vacation you envisioned. It wasn't the destination you envisioned. I've never actually been to the Grand Canyon, so I have no idea if it is or not, but just stay with me. But you went there because the world told you to go there. Your parents told you to go there. It just was the normal thing to do. And then you realize, man, I'm really missing A, B, and C. And then little old me comes along and is like, oh, you want A, B, and C in your life? Well, they have that over at Disney World. Like, I know Disney World's not where you intended to end up. Like, you actually you're here. This is what you thought you would want. But I'm telling you, like, the things that you say you want, the culture, the community, the time freedom, the residual income, the fill in the blank that you think that they need or want in their life, like, it actually is possible. You might not get that in the desert at the Grand Canyon, but it's available for you over here. Let's just go there. Do you think somebody's going to pack up all their lifelong belongings and just take off with you to Disneyland or Disney World? No, not the first time you say it. Certainly not. Expect them to say, no. Like, I got a good thing going here. Like, it is the Grand Canyon. Lots of people would want it. Expect a no the first time. But then, I'm going to send them a postcard from Disney World and be like, look, it's me doing all the things you said you wanted. Hope Grand Canyon is treating you well. Like, you could totally come here. Got a spot waiting for you. No. You see where I'm going with this? It's going to take time to crack through the limiting beliefs and the boundaries that we have put on our own life. You got to expect people to have that and be okay with it. It's okay if they can't envision themselves doing this yet. For 99% of you, that was you. When you started this, you couldn't envision yourself doing this either. But someone was willing to stay the course, and they were willing to continue to cast vision. They might not have known that's what they were doing, but they didn't let you off the hook. They kept saying, oh, come on, it will be so much fun to do this with you. Okay, so expect a no. If you're really lucky, expect an objection or a mindset setback. Listen, I love an objection. If I have to choose between a no and an objection, I pick an objection all day long. Listen, both of them are going to eventually be a yes. But an objection, I feel like they just give me a sneak peek. They're like, here's a hint. No, unless you can help me see how yes. So someone says, no, I couldn't do that. I have no time. Like, I'm a busy real estate agent. I'm raising this grandkid of mine. Like, there's no time. What I hear is what you have to offer sounds great. However, I have all these things that I think might hold me back. Help me understand in a loving way why that doesn't have to be the case. Help me understand how I do have time. Help show me over time how I could make this work in my busy life. Tell me over and over again that the busiest people are the most successful and that you've seen it time and time again. Remind me you've got systems in place for super busy people like me so that I don't ever have to miss out on what's the most important, but I can be blessing my family on both fronts. An objection is a sneak peek into the soul. They're basically telling you, if you could help me understand how this doesn't hold me back from that, then I'll be all ears. And so here's what I'll say to somebody sometimes. If they say that, I'll say, well, listen, Jackie, girl, I hear you. You do sound like a super busy lady. And I can relate to that because when I started this, I was teaching full time, was in grad school, and had just had another nursing baby. So I get it. I get busy. Hey, I'm curious though. If I could show you how I managed to get this up and running and bless my family tremendously financially without a giant time commitment, you think you'd be open to taking a look at it then? Listen, at that point, she's going to either have to come up with another objection or say, yeah, you know what? I mean, if you could show me that, I don't know how you could, but if you could show me that, yeah, I'd be open to that. Okay, another thing to expect to follow up 12 times minimum. 12 times minimum. And you guys, be okay with the fact that it may take some of your dream teamers a year, 2 years, 3 years to join you. And before you let your brain tell you that's too long to wait, here's what you tell your brain. While I'm waiting for that one person, I'm going to be building with all of these other people along the way. There are going to be lots of people who want to go gold and senior gold and ruby while you're working with and casting vision toward that one person that you're like, man, she could be a diamond. You're building with what you've got, but you never, ever stop casting vision on the ones that you're like, man, if she could catch the vision, if she ever would catch the vision, this would change everything for her. Those are the ones that you just lock in on. You just be committed to love them in spite of themselves and in spite of their objections. And no matter how long it takes until they literally block and unfriend you, or they are 6 feet in the ground, you just mean you're not going to hang up on their potential. You're not going to give up on what life could look like for them and what you feel like it should look like. Everyone deserves to have what I have here. Everyone deserves to have control over their time, and they deserve to have excess in the bank, and they deserve these things. I'm nothing special, but for Brittany's willingness to tell me that over and over and over. Brittany used to tell me how much money we could make, you guys, when I was making more money than her. In the beginning, when she was a silver, she'd be like, girl, listen, I'm telling you, here's the income disclosure chart. Here's how much money I'm going to make one day. And I remember thinking, I make way more money than you. Like, I'm a school teacher with 2 grad degrees. You're a silver. I see the chart. Like, I'm making more than you. Like, come at me when you are super successful. And listen, she could have let that make her mad or hurt her feelings or whatever. She didn't. She knew where she was going. She had a very clear mental picture of where she was going. And so she just kept following up. She would tell me what her paychecks were paying for. She told me when her first check had a comment in it. That is what actually got me to take a look at this opportunity. She said, Christina, I just got my first check with the comment in it. But you guys, before that message had been a year of her calling out my strengths, telling me I was a natural leader, reminding me that I could have more and be more. It was a year of that. So expect to follow up 12 times minimum. Y'all listen to me. If you're not willing to follow up the 9th time, the 10th time, the 11th time, the 12th time, save yourself the energy of following up at all. Some of you think, oh, that's so harsh. Why would she say that? I'm willing to do some of it, but I'm not. If you're willing to do some and not willing to see it all the way through, just know you're going to get some results. If you sort of kind of try, you're going to sort of kind of get results. So just be committed to the process. Just be committed. Okay. All right. Casting vision is another way of helping people see what you see in regards to their potential. Here's a few examples, and this is just a couple of what that could look like. So we're going to get into some specific messages in a minute. So hold on, but these are just some things. If I were to think, okay, I need to follow up with Susie. Susie would be great at this. And so far she's just not open. Here are some things I would have in my mind. Okay, I could invite them to an opportunity call. So that might look like a corporate opportunity call. That might look like a vision casting call that our team is doing. That might look like, hey, Jackie, like I have 1 person, 2 people who I think would really be great at this opportunity. Could you do a private Zoom with me and her and like just tell her your story? Guys, be creative. I don't care if you have to tap a sideline and say, hey, I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine. Can you do an opportunity Zoom and I'll do one for you with a potential? Whatever you have to do, get them in front of someone who has a story. But guys, here's what I see happening. You'll invite them to the opportunity call. But what you fail to do is sell the call. What do I mean by sell the call? I mean, you have to be willing to say, hey, listen, there's an opportunity call tonight. And the reason, don't miss this part. The reason I thought about you, Jackie, was because the girl that's sharing her story is a school teacher and a mama just like you. She reminds me so much of you because here's what she says and how she behaves. And here's what her personality is. Here's some of the same hurdles that you have. And she overcame them. And so I just thought you'd be able to relate. Listen, I know her story would inspire you. Will you just jump on and watch with me? And some of you are thinking, yeah, but that takes a ton of time. I'd rather just copy and paste that message. Guys, listen, those message templates, they're skeletons. They are intended for you to flesh them out and to make them personal. Tell them why this call would be perfect for them. Maybe you invite them to a team dinner or a team training so that they can see that there are other regular people doing exactly what we're doing. Expose them to the culture. I'm doing that this week. I'm having a team dinner / team training at my house, and I have 3 potential business builders, 2 of whom have not even joined yet, that are coming to this team training and team dinner. They are dream teamers of mine. And I know if I can expose them to the culture, if they can envision themselves among this room of women, they'll be in. No doubt. No doubt. Okay. Message them and tell them about your most recent paycheck and why it's significant for your family. Guys, I don't care if your paycheck was $17 and what you did with it was go buy ices at Sonic when they were, happy hour? You bought some nerd ices for your family and you paid for it. Whatever it is allowing you, you're telling people. Maybe that's a trip, quick weekend beach trip, whatever it is, depending on where you're at in your journey. And you're telling them why it's significant. And then you're telling them that, you know, they could be wildly successful too, because you're going to say, girl, here's what I did to do that. And I know that with my help, you could do it too. You're not only offering yourself as a coach, but you're showing them, I have systems. I have things in place already. Send them a diamond doc of someone who reminds you of them. But guys, don't forget to tell them why. Listen, this is my friend so-and-so. She's a military wife, just like you. And she didn't want to have to fool with getting licensed and credentialed in her career field all over the country. So this is why she took a look at this opportunity. And you know what? It reminded me of you. I know you could relate. Would you check it out with me? Guys, when you come at somebody with that posture, they are not going to say no. They're going to at least take a look at what you have to offer. Okay. Some other ideas. And you saw people doing this last week. Send them a message from convention if you're there, or maybe you're at leaders retreat, or you're in Hawaii or Mexico, and say, girl, do you see this trip I'm on? I did this a couple weeks ago, multiple times. It's probably why I have so many people who want to talk business right now. But there are people here who remind me so much of you. I know that you were afraid of being an introvert and you didn't know if that would work here. And I just want you to know I've had some of the best conversations with other introverted diamonds. And they reminded me of you. And you know what? I asked them this question and thought you'd love their answer. All of a sudden, they're envisioning what life could be like, right? Guys, the main thing is not what you say. If you sit there and wait to have the perfectly scripted message or the perfect right time or whatever, the main thing is not what you say. The main thing is that you call out their potential often, genuinely, and use resources to inspire them to picture themselves doing this. And even better, if the resources speak to their specific hurdle or objection. I know Michelle, sometimes the objection she gets from people that she's talking to is, I don't know. I'm not a 20-something-year-old blonde-headed girl. And she'd be like, oh, me either. Let me send you this diamond doc of my friend, Brenda Martin. Strategic, right? Be strategic. Okay. So screenshot these. I want you to not miss what I have here. These are actual follow-ups that I have used this last week. So this is a girl who is on my team. She messaged me while I was in Mexico and was like, oh my gosh, maybe I am missing out on living my best life. Like I thought I was living my best life, but I see you living your best life. So here's what I said when I got back. I'm like, hey girl, now that I'm back home and unpacked, I wanted to pop in here and tell you that I see so much potential in you. I know if you made the decision to do this, you could accomplish all that I have and more with Plexus. I know you have big, huge dreams and that you enjoy traveling with your family and just getting to experience all that life has to offer. And I'm telling you, I know Plexus could be the vehicle for you accomplishing that. I also know there's probably lots of thoughts that come up for you when you're thinking of this. So I'm curious, what are those? I'm inviting a conversation. Tell me what those thoughts are. I see the world of potential in you. Tell me what you're thinking in regard to this opportunity. Lay it on me. So I'm not shying away from the fact that she's going to have some thoughts. She's going to have some fears. She's going to have some objections. Bring it on. It sets me up as the expert. Like, I can handle it. What you got? Like, hit me with your best. Let's just get down to this nitty gritty. Let's have this conversation. Hey, Stacy, how are you guys? Not sure if you saw, but we just got back from a trip to Mexico with Plexus, and I am just so fired up. Also, I got the pleasure of meeting this guy and his wife, it's Kyle Rainey, in Mayakoba, and they're both diamonds, and he's a pastor. I thought you'd love his story. Pause here. The reason I specifically sent this message and this video is because this is a pastor's wife, and her main objection has been, how do I marry ministry and Plexus? If I decided to do this, how could that look? Like, tell me. Anyways, so that was her main objection. And so it just so happened after Mexico, Kyle made a video about why ministry and Plexus. So That's where this message came from. They're both diamonds, and he's a pastor. Thought you'd love his story. And basically, here's my shameless reminder that I think you could absolutely be amazing at this. So I hope you'll listen when you can, just a couple minutes long. And then I sent the link to the video. And I sent it on a night that I knew I was going to see her at Bible study so that we could engage back and forth. So this is a girl I had been talking to. I actually had Brittany do a 3-way call with her 3 years ago. 3 years. And I'm telling you, if she ever decides to do this, she'll be great. The result's not up to me. It's not up to me. It's not whether I do a great job has nothing to do with whether she says yes or no. My due diligence is, did I call her potential out? When all is said and done, and she looks back on the decisions that she's made in life, that she knows without a shadow of a doubt, there was somebody that was calling out my potential and over and over, like relentlessly telling me what I could have in this life. So, okay. Hey, Nat. Okay. So this girl has been on the products for years. We've known each other for a long time. She is a foster mom, an adoptive mom. She's just precious. She's also a doctor of audiology. We worked together a long time ago. So, hey, Nat, hope you're doing well. We just got back from our 8-day all expense paid trip to Mexico, and I just had to reach out to you again. Normally there would be a wink face right there. I know you know how much I really love Plexus since I post about it so often. And I'm just so grateful for what this opportunity has provided me. Freedom from so many health issues, etc. And when I started these products, you know, I was a school teacher who loved my job. Unfortunately, my income wasn't sufficient enough to cover things like soccer camps, cheer competitions, and so many other things I wanted to say yes to. So I'm painting a picture of what my life looks like now. Now I don't have to worry about any of that. This opportunity has brought us freedom, and I've thought of you time and again because I see what a servant's heart you have and what a hard worker you are. I spend my time trying to love and serve others well, and you're gifted at both. I know you have what it takes to be successful here. So because I'm semi-rambling, I guess what I want to know is, have you given any more thoughts to partnering with me in this opportunity? Maybe now is a better time for you. Okay, so this is clearly not the first follow-up. This has been, again, several years. But again, this is somebody that I've just decided to camp out on because she would be fantastic. All right, so here is, for somebody that I've not recruited yet, here's something that I would say to just continue to cast vision. Now, in my IPA, I dance between product and business, okay? So if I lead with the product, rest assured by follow-up 2 or 3, I'm hitting the opportunity, okay? If I lead with the business, I'll dance back and forth. So I always dance. By the time somebody joins me, they've already had vision casted and seeds planted about the opportunity numerous times. Hey, Amy, this is where connect. Please don't send the message that says connect. Like, actually connect. Like, say something, ask a question, whatever. I know I've mentioned Plexus before, and you'll forever be on my dream team list. If you ever decide to do this, I know you'd be wildly successful. Hey, are you free Tuesday night? My dear friend Michelle, or Christina, or whoever, is sharing her story and how she went from being a teacher to being a stay-at-home mom and more than tripling her teacher salary. You'll love her and her story. Are you free? Would you like for me to send you the link? Okay, so again, you just see following up in numerous ways, constantly telling people, hey, this is why I think of you. This is why I think you would be great. And then I love this quote. Never underestimate the valuable and important difference you make in every life you touch. For the impact you make today has a powerful rippling effect on every tomorrow. And the reason that this quote is special to me is because if Brittany had been more concerned about herself, if Brittany had thought, okay, well, Christina's not biting the bait with this opportunity, maybe I should just cast smaller vision. Like, she doesn't believe she could do this all the way. So maybe I should just tell her, okay, don't worry about that. Let's just get your products covered. If she had gone that route with me and had not really genuinely poured her belief into my overall potential, think of the ripple effect that would be missing. I don't just mean for my life. My life would look drastically different. And I don't mean just how I spend my time now or my money now. I'm talking about how I spend my eternity. You just don't know how God is going to use you in someone's life. So when you're fearful of reaching out, when you're fearful of sending the 9th follow-up because they've not been receptive the last couple of times, or they've ghosted you, or they've gone quiet, or whatever, just know the result's not up to you. Those are God-sized problems, and we're not equipped to carry those. Your responsibility is just be faithful with the opportunity he's given you and steward it well. And I'm telling you, to be faithful in this opportunity, you must be willing to see this through. You must be willing to do this over and over and over again. Guys, look for their potential. There is no one has ever gotten mad at somebody because someone was calling out their potential. Look for their potential, pour belief into them, paint a picture so incredibly clear that they're able to see what life could look like. And then you keep the conviction that that's what it should look like for them. So I hope that that is helpful. I will stop sharing the screen. I will stop this recording.